Hello team, how's it going? Welcome to a new video. Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. You can tell by the title we got some pretty big news. Not too much information on the minutes. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. But 5 SAS soldiers, so Special Air Service soldiers, UK Special Forces, have currently been arrested on possible war crimes carried out in Syria 2 years ago. So this is pretty big. It's not just one, not two, this is 5 operators have been arrested. And like I said, there's not too much information, but it's happening a lot. You got the SAS veteran from Northern Ireland who's currently being prosecuted, didn't turn up to the inquest, and he actually got put in prison for that, and he's got to go through all of that. You had the soldiers a couple of years ago with the IRA issues, and now we've got this, and there's also inquiries into possible 80 murders in Afghan. The issue we have, the SAS and even certain parts of the army have to do things most people are not willing to do, and they have to go into high stressful situations and carry out tasks that a lot of people don't want to do, but we want to do it and we love to do it. And especially when it comes to special forces, it's even higher. You know, they're in places that most people don't even know. They can't be discussed. It's all secrecy. Their identities are more than likely never going to be released. And they have to carry out and go up against some of the most dangerous and threatening people in the world. All right, if you're going up against some ISIS enemy, more than likely he is going to be carrying out and willing to do things to you that you're going to have to be willing to do things to them to stop them from doing it. All right, but apparently they've used excessive force. Unless the guy is running away from you and you shoot him in the back, highly likely SF have used excessive force, because more than likely they're a small team operating in Syria, which isn't even happening, in places a lot of people definitely don't want to go to, trust me. And then they're bumping into these people and you've got a split second to react. And yes, they're trained to do it. They constantly go through the ranges, the killing house, trains, planes, scenarios to be able to think quickly on their feet. But is a weapon pointing at you? Is he holding a weapon? Is my life in danger? Are my mate's lives in danger? Yes, react. No, save that person. And that's like, it's literally, say it could have been an explosive entry, explosion, grenade in you go. It's already up and in the air. You're not meant to be there. It's pretty dark. You could be going through night vision. I'm just like hypothetical sort of possible scenario. Walk into a room. There's the guy you're after. Split second to react. Otherwise, you and your mates could possibly lose their life or be seriously injured. So that's sort of scenarios that they're going into. And it's constantly now, like, it's getting ridiculous that war crimes. Let's put soldiers under this. Look at Brian Wood, okay, from PWRR, who had to go through that horrendous trial and situation and event in his life when he didn't actually have to. And I'm not going to lie, it most probably does happen. I don't blame some people. You're going into their country, you're causing mayhem, causing hell, blowing up their homes, causing mass issues. So they most probably want a bit of compensating me, or you've killed, one of their loved ones who was doing bad things, but they're like, well, you just killed my loved one. So they're going to go for a bit of compensation and they're going to try and get back at you because you've basically done the worst to them. So sometimes I feel like that is a lot of it. I think unless it is full on Geneva Convention, someone is running away and you've shot them in the back, or you're beating someone to death with your rifle and hands, and there's no need to, someone's come at you. Sometimes you do, rifle butt to the chest, elbow to the face just to disarm them without having to use a shot, then that's reasonable force. But if you've obviously battered them, then you've taken it too far, haven't you? But I feel like there's just a lot of war crimes coming up, and it's pretty standard after a war, a battle. The families want to get some sort of compensation, but when is it going to end? I want to hear a little bit more, and it's very unlikely we're going to get much more news on this because the SAS do operate in secrecy. They're in a lot of places doing missions that aren't really sanctioned, or we don't really know what's going on. But we can't just keep putting our soldiers, our operators, in the docks because, you know, someone's not happy that their loved one who has done a terrible thing has been killed, because that is the reality of war. And if the enemy want to come at us, their families have got to basically accept that this is going to happen. But we don't know. So they may have done something wrong. We will have to keep an eye on this. But my first reactions were like, Jesus, that's even more soldiers now being put under scrutiny for doing their job and doing something that most people aren't willing to do. And that's what we've got to accept, that the world is a dangerous place. There are people out there who want to do bad things, and there need to be people who are willing to basically go up against those bad people. And there's only a small number of people in the world, in the population, who are willing to do these things. And sometimes you've just got to let them do it. You know, the SAS are by far the best special forces in the world. You know, they are a lot up there with others, but they by far are. Look, Delta are designed around them. They were the first ever sort of special forces at doing what they do. And, a lot of other special forces are modelled off them. They train continuously. They go through the hardest and most arduous training in the world to get to where they are. And they train continuously. They are put in situations to react on their feet at a split second, even quicker. So you've got to let them do their job and hopefully give them the benefit of the doubt and let them give their story, their account of what's happened. And hopefully this will be done fairly. And if they obviously have done wrong, then they need to be brought to justice. But my first thoughts are, sometimes it's they've done something, over in Syria, they don't like it. So they've brought this up, and same with an Afghan. But the world has got to accept that there are bad people out there, and we need good people willing to do bad things or good things and things that most people aren't willing to do, to basically let you sleep safely at night, enjoy your life, go and waste your money, work hard, have families, children. Without these people, without us serving, you can't have that life, because there are bad people who want to hurt you, want to destroy our world. So yeah, fingers crossed they haven't actually committed war crimes. Me personally, I've got an inkling, and my first thoughts, they haven't. Like I said, there's not too much information at the minute. They obviously operate in secrecy. Their identities hopefully will never come out unless they want them to, because that's just how they work. That's how it happens. What happens when you join the special forces. So we will see. Let's keep an eye on this, because this is big news. 5 of them as well. Not one. This is 5. So it's a team who have gone out, and they're all being held accountable for possible war crimes. At the minute, it's just allegations. So, it's with the military police. It's going to prosecution to see if they've got evidence. So we will see. So yeah, fingers crossed it isn't. But obviously if they have, then they have to be held accountable. But my first thoughts are, it's just people that aren't happy with what they've done, and they've come back and said, look, you've committed war crimes, when they actually haven't, because we see it happen quite a bit. And a lot of people want to make a bit of dough, don't they? Want to make a bit of money. So let us know what your thoughts are, though. Comment below. I'll be really interested to hear what your thoughts are. Let us know. And yeah, we'll go from there, and we keep up to date with this together, and we can follow it together. Cheers.